Coming up on Our World, Hurricane Ian leaves millions of Floridians in need, how one volunteer group is helping, and celebrating a first and making history at the Supreme Court in Washington, D.C. And we'll take you to the red carpet with the unique and historic cast of Bros. Welcome to Our World. I'm Stephen Walker. Millions of people in Florida are now dealing with the devastation of Hurricane Ian, but they are getting help from a group of volunteers known as the Cajun Navy. The Advocate Channel's Bear Weir rode with one of the team to see how they were helping those cut off from the mainland.
After Ian's violent visit, this is what's left of the Causeway Bridge from mainland Florida to Sanibel Island. And this is the now unpassable bridge to Pine Island. So for residents of both, boats and helicopters are the only exit options. And while Coast Guard Blackhawks and Chinooks buzzed over the barrier islands on the grim day after, two of the only boats in this part of the Gulf carry civilian volunteers from the Cajun Navy. Those good old boys with bass boats and big hearts.
Give us the name of an individual or tell us somebody to go pick up. We'll try to go get them.
And a newer outfit known as Project Dynamo, led by a former military intelligence officer more accustomed to saving Americans from Russians in Ukraine or the Taliban in Afghanistan.
When Americans are in trouble in bad spots, usually we do war zones and conflict zones, but Hurricane Ian qualifies.
And you're named after Churchill's operation.
Correct.
To get the
troops
British soldiers off the beach of
Dunkirk.
Yeah.
And now here we are. We're going to rescue some people off of Sanibel, which is cut off from the world right now.
Yeah.
So it's very apropos.
Trying to help people out if they need help.
You need help?
You want to get out of here?
I'm in the desert.
Give us a minute. We'll come up
We'll come there.
We follow the cry for help ashore on Sanibel to find a gentleman eager to accept the boat lift, but unable to convince his better half.
Keep going. We're going.
So where?
Fort Myers. Fort Myers.
The bridge is out. The bridge is knocked out.
I'm not ready to go.
A cursory stroll around this part of Sanibel reveals plenty of hazards, like the hiss of natural gas spewing from a broken tank. But in one of the most coveted zip codes in Florida, the construction mostly held up, which is in stark contrast to Pine Island.
Look at this one. Absolutely flattened.
Especially the mobile homes of the working class and retirees living in St. James City.
Hey, ma'am, are you okay? It's your daughter called us.
I can imagine.
When their phone cut out early in the storm, the grandchildren of Nancy and Robert Sharon were so scared, they called the Cajun Navy and Project Dynamo and begged them to go check for proof of life.
I heard it that they weren't going to do anything after the bridge closed down. But my granddaughters are in Ohio, and she was crying hysterical when I talked to her on the phone. She said, we were thinking that you got hurt, and I said, no, there's no service. There's no service. So,
That's the thing, the uncertainty brings so much fear and stress.
I knew it, and that had me more worried than what was going on at the time.
It's terrible what we're going through. There's a terrible set of circumstances. The destruction is unbelievable. The suffering is going to be bad. You know, this is true carnage. It's a war zone. 1, 2, 3.
You're up.
Thank you, gentlemen.
But at the same time, I'm really happy that we could be here to help.
Search and rescue teams in Florida are now going door to door to help rescue people who may be trapped. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson is now officially serving on the Supreme Court as the first black woman on the bench. Today, in a formal ceremony, Justice Jackson once again took the oath to serve on the Supreme Court. But afterwards, she walked down the Supreme Court steps with Chief Justice John Roberts. She was then joined by her husband. It was purely ceremonial, since Jackson is already on the job. She was sworn in as the 104th Supreme Court Justice in June. Gina Thomas, the wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, is standing by the false claim that the 2020 election was fraudulent. Thomas voluntarily met with the committee investigating the Capitol insurrection for more than 4 hours. The panel said it wanted to know about text messages Gina Thomas sent to former President Donald Trump's Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, and his attorney, John Eastham. Both were instrumental in trying to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential race. We're off to the red carpet in Hollywood for the premiere of Bros, starring Billy Eichner. He's the first out gay man to co-write and star in his own major studio film. Out.com digital director Rafi Ermac caught up with some of the cast members on the red carpet.
So, what's it like to be here right now in this moment, present, getting ready to premiere this to the world?
I'm thrilled. I'm so excited. I can't wait for Bros to finally open everywhere on Friday. I'm very proud of it, very grateful to be a part of it. It's a really funny movie. It's a movie everyone can relate to, but I, of course, especially wanted LGBTQ folks to feel seen and represented, but in a funny, joyful way, and I can't wait for people to see it.
I love the tone of the movie. Was that like the intentionality of that? Getting to bring this lighthearted but fun kind of thing for queer audiences?
Absolutely. You know, we get a lot of tragic stories. Hollywood is often focused on the suffering of being gay, especially at major studios. And so I wanted them to make a movie that was joyful and fun and funny and uplifting. And it's a movie that makes everyone feel good.
I have to ask, it's Out's 30th anniversary this year. You got to be on one of the covers.
Yeah.
Can you just talk about the impact of that, especially since we've been around for a long time and we mean so much to the community. So can you just talk a little about that?
It was an honor to be on the cover of Out. I was thrilled. Happy anniversary. We need our queer media. Out was there way ahead of the curve, representing us and making us visible and telling our stories long before other more mainstream places finally did that too. But I'm very grateful for everything that Out does, and here's to 30 more years.
Congratulations, first of all. How does it feel to be here, present in this moment, getting ready to premiere this movie to the world?
It feels fantastic. I'm really excited for everybody to see it. I feel like I've been excited about it for the last 2 months, and I can't wait for everybody else to see it and get excited about it.
Is it wild that 2022 it took this long for something like this to happen theatrically?
You know, everything has to happen on its own time. Yeah, I'm just happy that I'm alive to sort of be part of it, truly.
Aaron is a very relatable character. What's it like to bring his story to the world, especially since, you know, LGBTQ people of a certain age don't often get the spotlight sometimes?
Yeah, and the truth is, Bros is a movie that has many different characters that are relatable to people, and I'm just one of the many stories that we tell, and I'm super, super happy that I got to tell it.
I just have to ask, because it's Out's 30th anniversary and you're on the cover this year, so how does it feel to just be on this esteemed publication, or especially it means so much to the community?
Out magazine, I remember when I was a kid. I remember seeing it at the stores and being both excited and a little bit scared of it, and I'm so glad that you guys have been around for as long as you have been, continuing to tell our stories, and continue to tell our stories for many years to come, so thank you.
Obviously, this historic movie, what is it like to be a part of the cast with all LGBTQ actors, and some of them aren't even playing queer roles,
It's feels like a dream come true, because you know I keep thinking of it from like my little child point of view, and to be a part of this and being here is just I'm elated. I cannot believe, but I'm very excited.
Is she a movie star now?
Oh, she's a movie star now, baby. Let's go ahead on the resume, honey.
She caught the acting bug?
The bugs, all of them. Every last acting bug there is, I got them.
And is it wild that it took like till 2022 for something like this to happen theatrically?
Yes, I think so, because I think it's, you know, we always say it's about time, but you know, everything happens in its time, and I think now is the perfect moment for it. But you know, we could have been a couple 2-3 years before. I'm not gonna lie.
You hope this is just the beginning of what's hopefully a long, many years of representation going on the.
I hope this is the beginning of an avalanche. So I'm happy to be a part of this, and I'm sure everyone else is. Like, this is it's a dream come true. So I hope this is the beginning of more beautiful stories being told, you know?
More roles, honey.
More roles, honey, more roles.
Bros features an entirely LGBTQ plus principal cast. Both Billy Eichner and Luke McFarlane are featured on the cover of Out magazine, which you can find on newsstands. You can find the movie in theatres now. Thank you for joining us for Our World. The Advocate channel is streaming now on Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, and Android TV. You can also download our app on your Android or Apple device.